We're baking sourdough bread today for the week, and I decided that I wanted to try something different. So for the past few months, I've been creating normal sourdough bread, or the craziest thing that I ever made was sourdough jalapeno cheddar bread. So nothing really crazy here, but I wanted to try something different, and that was painting on your sourdough bread. I've been browsing Pinterest often, just trying to get some inspiration when it comes to modern sourdough bread. I wanted to try something fun, and so I decided why not try painting some flowers on these breads. And I've seen a lot, some of the vibrant ones, they actually use food coloring, but I want to actually divert away from that. The reasoning as to why I started baking sourdough bread was because the amount of ingredients that's found in bread in local markets or even just sandwiches that are store-bought is insane. Like when we were on the airplane going to Hawaii a couple months ago, the ingredient list was the length of the sandwich itself. That's insane to me. And probably I should have done a little bit of research in terms of what other people have been doing before I just started to just dive right in. But we're doing that. I'm just going to live and learn from this experience and go from here. Check out this little food processor that I got from Daiso. It's really small, handheld. I don't even know if it's going to really work here, but we're going to give it a try. On my freeze-dried strawberries, it works okay. I would say it's not like the greatest, so it's not going to make it super fine powdery. There's going to be some chunks in there, but otherwise it's okay. And I will say this is probably more designed for little stuff like garlic or onion, so definitely wasn't meant for this purpose. I just wanted to give it a try. I also tried it on some dried tea leaves and definitely no go. It did not work there, so that one was a bust. Okay, so we're going to be thinking out loud a little bit here. I'm going to be using these powdered ingredients and I'm going to mix it with water so that it's like diluted and almost paint-like. I think I'm going to add some rice flour into the mixture just because I know rice flour is used on the outside of sourdough bread when they want to have a little pop of the designs of things that they're scoring. And if you're a sourdough person, sourdough guru, let me know all the things that I'm doing wrong because I definitely want to learn and want to be better at this. But I'm also sharing all the things that I'm learning through this process so that if you are in this journey too, you don't have to go through what I'm going through. And now my texture might be a little bit off. I'm mixing both the flour and the powder together with the water and it's having a hard time sticking onto my sourdough bread. But once I figured out a happy medium for each of the ingredients, I then started enjoying this whole entire process and was able to create some cute pieces. We'll definitely need to do a lot more research in terms of the flour and the coloring. So I know there's a lot of powdered vegetables and fruit that we could probably use, maybe gearing towards more vegetables because I think that the high content of sugar may burn. I also remember that cinnamon and water doesn't really mix well, so you could see that I'm struggling here. I actually diverted over from cinnamon over to the strawberry flavor. I also busted out my new X-Acto knife because I wanted to create more precise cuttings, and I probably should get that UFO looking one, but we'll go and do that in the future. And if there's any one thing that you could take away from this video, I would highly recommend looking into open baking. It essentially eliminates the idea of having a Dutch oven and it allows you to use your whole entire oven as the Dutch oven, which is very different from having one little Dutch oven. It allows me to do so many more baking at one time, which I'm happy about. Something I wouldn't recommend here is using the ingredients pure when you are putting it on here. So this is cinnamon and matcha powder that I'm putting here for this design. And while it looks so pretty dry before it goes into the oven, once it comes out of the oven, it's a completely different story. And if you already do color your sourdough bread, I would love to hear some tips from you. Leave some comments down below because I love this process. It was so therapeutic, but I would also love to have a beautiful outcome piece. Like these are pretty good, I would say, but it does dull in color once it comes out. And hopefully the only way to get vibrant color isn't to use food coloring because that's what I'm trying to avoid here. Separating the top layer of the sourdough bread within 5 minutes of putting it into the oven to create an illusion that the bread is essentially lifted or this butterfly is in movement was such a great idea too. For my first attempt, I say it wasn't too bad, but there definitely is a lot of room for improvement. And you can see here on the butterfly especially that the cinnamon and the matcha powder directly without any water or liquid did kind of burn and it just rolled off. But overall, this was such a great experience and I love the rustic modern vibe to these sourdough breads and it gives a little character. So definitely going to give this another try. Let me know what you think about these types of breads and I will see you on the next one.